Slate of week 2 games. Let's get to them. Some of our favorite fantasy matchups coming in. These are some notable fantasy games. Of course, the Thursday night game. Then we get to see the division game between the Rams and the Cardinals, a rivalry matchup between the Bengals and the Chiefs. So many games to look forward to, but there can only be one favorite particular fantasy matchup from a fantasy perspective. So favorite matchup, Marcus, for week 2?
I'm looking at the one that's not on the board there. It was the Raiders and the Ravens, that game in Baltimore, home opener for the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm looking specifically at Derrick Henry because it was a little bit disappointing in the season opener. Just over 10 points for King Henry in that one. But that was partially because of the game plan and the way things went for Baltimore. They ended up sort of in some passing situations. I don't see that happening this week against the Raiders. I think you're going to see the Ravens at a positive game script, having to run the ball. This is a Raider defense that just got trampled by the Chargers running game. J.K. Dobbins had a huge afternoon against Las Vegas, so I think we're going to see plenty of Derrick Henry. I know John Harbaugh said we didn't bring him in to give him 30 carries. They may give him 30 carries because that's just how the game script, I think, is going to go against Vegas this week.
Yeah, I'm expecting a much better result from Derrick Henry. I'm kind of hoping for the same results for Cooper Kupp last week as he gave us last week. The biggest winner in week 1 was Cooper Kupp. No one gained more value than he did when Puka Nacua went down. Remember last season when Cooper Kupp missed the first month and it felt like half of the Rams' passes went to Puka Nacua? It is the exact opposite now. 21 targets for Cooper Kupp. He cooked dudes out wide. He cooked dudes in the slot. He looked like vintage Cooper Kupp. The offense is 100% going to run through him now. There's very, very few wide receivers I would rather have rest of the way than Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, again, we'll keep saying it. Almost a 4th-round ADP. What was going on with that for the former Triple Crown winner? I've got a guy who the offense does run all the way through, guaranteed. That's Jayden Daniels. Going up against the Giants' first career home start. Jayden played well on the road. The defense did not. The Giants defense allowed the 5th most yards per rush to quarterbacks last year and saw Sam Darnold get a 113 passer rating. Even if the Giants score, that means we're just going to get more Jayden Daniels. So those are all some good single-player matchups, but those are just single-player. So let's get some stacks. Stacks on the way. Stacks that calm down officers. These are fantasy stacks because along with the 4th Amendment, we do have the right to have multiple players from the same team on our fantasy team. So who is your favorite stack this week, Mike?
This guy right here. Josh Allen. You can give me any of his pass catchers, but I'm going to take Keon Coleman here. The reason I'm so high on Josh Allen this week is, one, he's always the QB1, but they are playing the Miami Dolphins, and in his career, Josh Allen has averaged 29 fantasy points per game against them. But then Keon Coleman is the real story here. He led the Bills in every receiving stat last week. He made contested catches. He was the end zone target for them. He was drawing pass interference flags. And just like last week when I said I had a feeling that the Chiefs were going to want to show off Xavier Worthy on national TV, I think the Bills are going to come back and be like, everyone questioned us last week. We got a pretty good one of our own here. So I like this Bill stack a good amount this week.
Yeah, nothing like trying to tell the whole world, like, hey, we didn't screw up. Please watch us. I'm going with a stack down in Tampa, and that's Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin. Yeah, you could easily probably pick Mike Evans as well because Baker threw some deep shots to him, and that was very fun to watch against a bad Commanders secondary. The Lions secondary, definitely better than what we saw from Washington, but they kind of got some problems inside in the slot. That's where Chris Godwin did a lot of his work. I think this is going to be one of the higher scoring games of the week, and we're going to see Chris Godwin get a whole lot of activity. It's just nice to see him back in the slot. He's so much more comfortable there. He's incredibly productive, and I think he continues that. I think Baker Mayfield has a huge week for Tampa.
Yeah, healthier this season. Chris Godwin, again, a year removed from reconstructive surgery. Mike likes the Bills game on Thursday. I think there should be some points there as well. And I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills secondary and wondering just how long it's going to take for Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill to hit one. The Jags were able to hold them off to the 3rd quarter. Tua threw for 383 yards in the opener. I'm looking forward to this matchup, looking forward to this game. I think we could see some points on Thursday Night Football. And ideally, you would have the top scorers at every position, but it feels better mentally, right, to have 2 guys because you get 1 touchdown and you get 2 touchdowns out of it. It's just a fun way to trick our brain.